Is it possible to build a business empire with a franchise that you can buy for under $100,000? Well, the answer is yes, if and only if you find the right franchise brand. And we're going to be breaking down one example starting now. Hi there, my name's Jason Revere. I'm the founder of Revolution Franchise Brokers, and we help people just like you get into business ownership, often for the very first time. If you want to learn more about our services, visit our website, revfran.com, and we'll drop a link in the description below. And if you get any value at all out of this video, please do me a favor and click subscribe, and that way you're always up to date with all of the franchise information that we produce on this channel. But today, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we are here to talk about a franchise brand that you can get into for under $100,000 that has the potential to do millions of dollars of revenue. And one of the biggest misconceptions in franchising is that you have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions of dollars to get into a franchise system that has the ability to generate that kind of return and that kind of revenue. And that's just flat not true. In fact, oftentimes it's the inverse. Sometimes these franchises that cost millions of dollars to get open perform less well than the franchises that are much lower on the investment spectrum. But there's always a catch, just like anything. And we're going to get into all of that as we go through this program today. But the franchise that we're going to be discussing today is a franchise called Oxy Fresh Carpet Cleaning, right? It's not sexy. It doesn't have to be sexy to get into business, to build an empire out of it, but it does have to solve a problem. And they saw a gap in the marketplace, and we'll get into the history of how they founded this franchise brand and really where they are today as well. But they saw a need in the marketplace, and they solved that need with a really cool piece of technology and a way of cleaning carpets that saves water and does just a better job of getting those carpets cleaned. And you don't have to, evacuate the business or building or home for a day to let the carpets dry. This could be dried in 2 hours. They've got some really cool technology that helps to actually fulfill the work here. But that's really not what this franchise is about. It is a marketing and sales and technology company, and that's really why you want to partner with any type of franchise, honestly, is the marketing support that they're going to provide. And we're going to be getting into those details as well. But a couple things that you need to understand about this franchise. Again, it's called Oxy Fresh Carpet Cleaning, and they've been franchising since 2006. So they've been around for a long time. They are a very established brand, and they've got about 481 locations currently. But don't let that discourage you. They still have a lot of great territories available. In fact, they've got about 300 territories that are still available in the United States. And there's always franchises, when you get into these legacy franchises that have been around for almost 20 years, that they're getting to that point where maybe they're ready to exit the business. And so there may be some resale opportunities for you as well. So if you are interested in this franchise and you want to learn more about it, just go ahead and visit our website and fill out one of the forms there. Let them know when they reach out to you that you are looking at the OxyFresh franchise, and we'll get you all of that information and let you know if that area is available for you. But one of the strengths of this franchise and the way we started this video here was under $100,000. So what does that initial investment look like for OxyFresh? In their item 7 of their FDD, the franchise disclosure document, it is $53,775 and can range up to $83,830 if you want to make sure that you've got enough working capital as you ramp up that business. I would recommend, and I always do recommend, that you look at that highest number there. So $83,830. That does not mean that you have to write a check for $83,830 to buy this franchise. In fact, you can get it operational for under $20,000 worth of liquid capital to invest into the business, as long as you have a good enough credit score to get an SBA loan, which is the most common way that people get into this business. So if you're watching this and you think, I've got $20,000 I can invest into a business, this might be for you. So keep on listening. One of the main reasons, not one of the main reasons, but a reason really to love this franchise is that their royalty structure is really unique. Okay, they charge a flat royalty instead of a percentage. So most franchises will charge a percentage of your top line revenue as the royalty that you would pay to the franchisor, as just basically think about it like your membership dues, right? But this one charges a flat fee royalty of only $475 per month. So if you're doing $1 million, and there are franchise owners in this system that are doing $1 million, they are only paying $475 per month to the franchisor in the form of a royalty to keep that business operational. So that is a really strong selling point for this franchise. Above and beyond that, though, they do have some other fees associated with operating this franchise, and they promise you we're going to get into what those look like and why that they're there and whether or not they're worth it from our point of view. But their advertising and technology fee is 3% of your top line revenue. And so what is that? That means the monies that you will have to pay them to continue to advertise the system-wide brand at a national level, and then also the technology that is associated with operating your business. 3% might sound a little high, but once you start to understand what those resources are that they have, I think you'll see that it's fairly reasonable for them to do that, especially when you pair that with the fact that you're only paying $475 per month for the royalty. Pretty solid numbers there. They do have a call center, okay? And call centers are great, and there's a lot of franchises out there that offer a call center. But most of the time, what these call centers are doing is they're just booking the appointment for your sales team to go out and meet with the homeowner in this case, or even the businesses in this case as well, because there is a B2B component to this business as well. But not in this case. So in this case, the call center is actually booking the calls for you, but they're also scheduling the jobs and selling the jobs for you. That means you don't have to worry about hiring a sales team. You don't have to worry about hiring an administrative staff to keep your schedule going. That's one of the really strong selling points of this franchise. And one of the reasons that I wanted to film this video today is you don't find that a lot of times in franchising. If you're just booking the appointments for your salespeople to go on, you still have to hire those salespeople, right? That's not a problem. That doesn't matter at all. But if there's an easier way to do it and there's a franchise that solves that problem, might be worth checking out. And so this one does that for you. Now let's get to the numbers here. So let's talk revenue numbers. As I mentioned before, can you build an empire out of a franchise that you can get into for under $100,000? I guess that depends on your definition of what an empire is. But I would consider any business that is doing over $1 million of revenue annually is on your way to building that business empire. And there are franchise owners, as I mentioned, that are doing more than $1 million of revenue. And their top performer in 2024 actually did $1.4 million worth of revenue. So $1.4 million worth of revenue. We're not going to get into the profitability metrics, but suffice it to say, you run a lean ship, you're only paying 3% to get to basically have your sales team out there selling your goods for you. You can start to connect the dots that would be a very profitable venture for that individual. But it's not all sunshine and raindrops, right? This is we want to also we're talking about the high end, let's talk about the low end, okay? They have a bottom. The bottom folks are really barely scratching by. Heck, they got some people on there that are only doing like 14 grand a year of revenue. That's embarrassing, especially when you're looking at it and you're like, this guy's doing $1.4 million of revenue and I'm only able to eke out $14,000 of revenue. Why is that? This franchise and other service-based franchises reward excellence and punish mediocrity. Doesn't mean the franchisor is out there with a paddle punishing mediocrity. It just means that the nature of this type of business is where if you're a go-getter and you're willing to keep your foot on the gas of marketing your business and working with the marketing team and making sure that you're driving leads and driving conversions and driving sales, that's how you become a very successful owner. But some of these owners that are just, they're got the scarcity mindset and they're scared to invest in their leads. This type of system really punishes those individuals in the form of just having no sales and no revenue. And so if you are watching this and you're like, I'm scared to do anything like that, I don't really like getting out into the community and talking to people, this is not the franchise for you. Okay. What if you are watching this and you're like, yeah, man, I'm super excited. I love building a business. I love the idea of marketing and getting out in the community and being like being on TV and being the face of my business. This could be a perfect fit for you, especially if you don't really have a ton of money right now to invest into a franchise. This absolutely could be the fit for you. So, what does this look like to get open? Okay, when you buy into this franchise, you're going to be paying the franchise fee, and that's going to include all of your setup, all of your training. They're going to fly you out and give you all the training necessary to do it. You're going to get a van, and you're going to get that van wrapped in the beautiful OxyFresh uh, carpet cleaning logos and brand scheme and whatnot. And then you're also going to get it loaded with all of the equipment that you need to operate this business. So you're going to start with one van at that investment level. You're going to lease that van, so it just becomes a part of your overhead and is not necessarily part of your initial investment. If you want to pay cash for your vehicle, which is fine, and it can be a very responsible thing to do, to just understand that your initial investment will be substantially higher because they are accounting for the fact that you will be investing in that. But quick ramp to get open. Doesn't take you a long time. You can get this type of business up and running within about 3 months of signing your franchise agreement to get to the point where you are cash flow positive, which is that magic number, right? Some call it the break-even point in that business. You're really running to that. Okay, you want to be advertising like crazy. You want to be going out there into the community and meeting people and getting either business to business stuff or just getting out into the community so people see you driving around and they want to do business with you, and you want to keep, again, your foot on the gas. $40,000, $50,000 of advertising to get the rocket fuel that your business needs that first year to get up and running. It's going to be really responsible, and that's going to dictate whether or not you get to that break-even point very rapidly. But a lot of service businesses like this that can operate very lean and mean without a lot of overhead, it is possible to get there within that first 3 months of business. So if that, again, is enticing to you and getting you excited, all of those activities, this could be the right fit for you. You can operate this business with just owner operator, but that's not going to give you that empire. So what you want to do is get a technician as fast as you can so you can have that van driving around. Each one of those vans, on average, nationwide average in this type of a business, can do anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 worth of revenue for the company. So each van that you've got out on the road, if you just look at it as a profit center for your business, account for about $150,000 to $200,000 is what the throughput is of each one of those. So if you have a goal of operating a $1 million business, just do some quick math here. You're probably going to have anywhere from 5 to 7 technicians that are going to be out on the road getting those jobs done for you. I had the opportunity to meet with an owner of this brand in the Colorado area, and he was pretty honest with me. He's like, listen, man, I don't ever go there. It's actually like an hour away from my home, so I'm never even in my territory. I operate it from afar, but he is an active operator. He keeps an eye on every piece of his business through the technology that the franchise has available for them and knows what's going on with his business, understands his P&L, understands what is going on in that business. And that is something that is possible. So if you are looking to get into a semi-absentee type franchise, this franchise can be a fit for you. And if you want multiple territories as well, they really only advocate that for really high-end operators, people who have business ownership experience. But if you want to have a $1 million business, you might as well just start with 2 locations, and that will change that initial investment and push it over that $100,000 mark. If you're the right person, they will allow you to do that. So what does the technology look like? So I was able to, again, with that the help of one of the owners that I met earlier today, he kind of gave me a screen share walkthrough. So I'm going to put that on the screen while we're talking through this. But this is it's a more than a CRM. This is all of your marketing, and you're going to see some really cool stuff here with the blips on here. And what this company does better than a lot of franchises that I've seen is they understand how Google operates and how search engine optimization works in real time. And it changes year after year after year. And they've been able to adapt since 2006 to getting to the point where you are now seeing these OxyFresh owners in multiple different cities ranking on Google super high, and that helps immensely drive down your cost per customer acquisition because you can get a lot more organic leads if you're in that three-pack visible above the fold on multiple different cities within your area, because Google these days, it's really only going out to about a 6 to 7 mile radius on any of these service-based businesses. So you have to have multiple pages operating, and that's exactly what this franchise helps you to accomplish. So you can focus on the things that are important in your business, hiring those technicians, making sure that they're getting those 5-star reviews, doing those things at a grassroots level that can drive your search engine optimization up and help with the customer flow and sales and all the other stuff that helps with, and allow the franchisor to do what they're great at, which is managing the digital footprint of your business for you. Above and beyond that, like I said before, they've got that call center that is going to be scheduling those jobs for you, making those sales for you, so you can, again, focus on delivering customer experience excellence. And that is what your day-to-day is going to look like. If you are a semi-absentee owner, you're really going to have to put in between 5 to 15 hours per week of just intentional leadership into that business, and you can still have a very successful and profitable business doing it that way. So that is the OxyFresh carpet cleaning franchise in a nutshell from our point of view. It's not for everybody, as I mentioned. This is a business that will reward excellence. It will reward excellence, but it will punish mediocrity. So if you are a mediocre performer or somebody who's scared to invest in their advertising and their marketing efforts, you might want to look at a franchise that is a little bit more locational based, a little bit more retail friendly, transactional, and the like. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It just doesn't mean that you're a fit for this. We've got plenty of options for those types of people, and that's why we put you through those battery of tests when we start to work with a brand new client, and we help you to find that right franchise fit in the mix. That's going to do it for us today. If you liked what you saw in this video, go ahead and like the video, hit the button, tell us that you like it, and we will help you, and we will make more content just like this. If you hated it, please don't click the thumbs down button. That's just rude. And if you also did get some value out of this, please subscribe to the channel, and that just helps us feel good, makes us want to create more and more content just like this. So that'll do for us today. If you liked, again, what you saw and you want to get a hold of us, visit our website. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching. Be excellent. We'll catch you on the next one.